Hey everybody, this is Brian with Hunter Rockies, and I am here to go through um, another tutorial on using the unit comparison, the yearly trend, and then jumping over to a map to examine the types of things that I look for, the criteria that I'm interested in when searching for a new area. So in this case, we're going to be using the latest stats that we have. We're still waiting for the 2016 harvest stats to come out for the state of Colorado. We'll be focused on elk. I am a resident. I'm going to rifle hunt. I want to do an over-the-counter tag second season, and I want my percent success. I know that 26 to 50, those are going to be private land for the most part, so I'm shooting for 20 to 25% success. And what I have is Unit 65 with a 21%, Unit 83 with 22%, 47 at 22, 59 at 22, and then 851, which is probably going to be off limits. I think that's pretty much all private property except for the one state wildlife area that's highly coveted. So we're going to cross that one out. So knowing that we have 65, 83, 471, and 591, I'm going to jump over to the yearly trend and take a quick look at what we have here. So we'll try, we'll start with Unit 65. And again, you can't see what I'm doing with the drop-down menus because for some reason they don't register on the screen recorder, which is slightly frustrating, but just accept it for that. All right. So here we can see a pretty significant fluctuation in success over the years, whereas the hunting stats would indicate that, the total hunters fluctuates, and it looks like it's relatively even between the number of hunters and the amount of success that's there. Out of curiosity, I always like to toggle this over to non-resident, and you can see that the stats are significantly different. And there's more people. So you would have to combine the number of people for total hunters for non-resident and resident to extrapolate actually how many people are in there. But you can see from the stats that they're quite a bit higher. But this, what unit was this? This was Unit 65, so it didn't look too bad. Now we're going to go to Unit 83. And again, we're going to hit over-the-counter bull elk second season. We're going to do resident. And again, you get an interesting fluctuation. High, down, back up, and all the way down to 7, and then back up again to 22. And once again, we're going to check resident, or non-resident rather, and you can see a pretty big fluctuation, 26 down to 0, back up to 13. So it'll be interesting once we get the 2016 stats loaded to see what's going to happen. So now we've looked at those two sites. I'm also going to take a quick look at 591. For some reason that was interesting to me. So again, drop-down menu doesn't register on the screen recorder, but I'm picking Unit 591, clicking resident, over-the-counter elk second season. We'll run it. Whoa, that's a neat curve. So way up high, not so much. So 6 to 22%, 28. Again, all over the place. I love to see these arcs, though. I think that's just fascinating. What was it that that changed between here to here. I'm really curious to learn what it was that made it so different. Changing these to non-resident, and you can see that there's just nothing happening there. So I'm not quite sure what happened with that. But so now what I want to do, we're going to pause this and we're going to jump over to a map. So bear with me. Okay, I jumped over to Game Planner Maps, and I've been using them for a little while now, trying to get a feel for how the site works as a resource to use in conjunction with my site. So I'm going to drill into Unit 65. And what I want to know is what the state wildlifes are, designated wilderness, Forest Service boundaries, and I actually kind of prefer, I don't know if this will work, shoot. I can't get to the map that I want. It's hidden. Maybe if I do this. There we go. All right, I want Google. And to me, this is a real good way to expose where the public lands are in an area. So when I drill in on 65, I can tell that there is a good chunk of wilderness. It's right up against a limited area, which is 66. And there's actually 2 wilderness areas inside Unit 65. There's a good chunk of national forest. And if we re-enable the filter for land ownership, you can see in the yellow the BLM land, these little patches all throughout here. So 65 to me looks like a pretty solid place to investigate for an over-the-counter tag. The other place that I wanted to look real quick, I'm going to zoom out, and I will pan over, and I am looking for 471. That also looked pretty interesting to me. Kind of rugged, looked remote, and you can tell by these dotted lines in here, this is all wilderness. So to me, this looks like a really interesting place to go do some research. So that's my quick and dirty tutorial on how I use my site in conjunction with Game Planner Maps to locate potential places to hunt. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and as always, if you did enjoy the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a follow on Instagram. Thanks and have a great night.